all night there is no urge to get up for the bathroom. There is a clever trick that an old doctor suggested to help with this problem. Sometimes it just wears you out, doesn't it? When night turns into endless trips to the bathroom and back. Once, twice, sometimes even 3 times. Sleep is interrupted, and in the morning you feel shattered, leading to a wasted day. It seems that this is an inevitable part of aging, and one must come to terms with it. But what if I tell you it is not so? What is the simple yet very clever method shared with me by an experienced urologist? This approach has helped thousands of his patients, many of whom are over 60, forget about this delicate issue and sleep peacefully until morning. And no, this is not some miracle remedy or expensive pills. It is a simple yet complex ritual that must be performed every evening. The secret lies not in what you drink, but in when and how you do it. Today I will share this valuable knowledge step by step. But before we begin, I have an important question for you. Please write in the comments how many times you had to get up last night. 2, 3, or perhaps you managed to solve this problem. If this topic interests you, and you also want to sleep peacefully, don't wait until the end of the video. Support me with your like. Thank you for your participation. Now let's figure out why this happens and why our body decides to get rid of excess specifically at night. Many think, it's just old age, nothing can be done. But it's not quite like that. That wise doctor always said, age is not a diagnosis, it's just new rules of the game and we need to master them. Let's understand these rules. Firstly, with age, the walls of our bladder, like other muscles in the body, can lose elasticity. They can no longer stretch like in their youth and start sending signals to the brain. Attention, I am full, even when there isn't much liquid there. It feels like your favorite bag gradually becomes stiffer and holds less over time. Secondly, there is a clever thing called hormonal background. In a healthy young body, a special hormone known as antidiuretic is produced at night. He commands the buds. Sleep, hold the water until morning. This is nature's wise mechanism, allowing us to rest fully. But over the years, unfortunately, its production may decrease, and the kidneys, not receiving a clear command to stop, continue to actively filter blood and produce urine, even when we are already in a deep sleep. And now we come to the third, perhaps the most important moment, that which we can control 100%. These are our evening habits. Often, due to ignorance, we create this problem ourselves. Look, it's a classic situation. We run around all day, fussing and attending to tasks, and simply forget to drink water properly. In the morning, we start the day with a glass of water, and by lunchtime, we drink from a cup, and that's seemingly all. However, in the evening, sitting in front of the television and relaxing, we begin to catch up on what we've missed. A cup of tea, then another, as the evening invites heartfelt conversations. Tea, especially black or green, and coffee are well-known diuretic drinks that help eliminate fluid from the body. One should not forget that many prefer to drink a glass of kefir or milk before bedtime to improve sleep or aid digestion. But this is also a liquid containing protein, which the kidneys will process, requiring additional water. And what about dinner? A piece of salted herring, a pickled cucumber, or sauerkraut. All of this is certainly tasty, but salt, dear friends, is the main culprit of nighttime problems. It acts like a sponge, retaining water in the tissues, causing hidden swelling that can go unnoticed. Then, when we lie down in bed and the body relaxes, all this accumulated water returns to the blood vessels and, of course, goes to the kidneys. And the unplanned nighttime work of urine production begins. Thus, the cause of many ailments may not lie in serious diseases, but in our failure to maintain proper hydration. We drink at the wrong times when we really need it and eat the wrong foods before sleep. But there is good news. This can be fixed. We are capable of reprogramming our body. And now, I will tell you about the first and most important stage of this process. So, we realized that the main task is not to overload our body, especially the kidneys and bladder, with work at night. We must allow them to rest just as we rest ourselves. For this, we introduced the first and most important rule, which the doctor called the golden hours of hydration. Remember, it's quite simple. All daily water intake, and we know that clean water must be consumed, should be drunk in the first half of the day, or at least 3/4, meaning 75% of your norm, by 4 or 5 o'clock in the evening. This is our first clever trick. We kind of cleanse our body in the morning when we are active and on our feet. Imagine you are cleaning your house. This is done during the day, not at midnight. The same goes for our body. In the morning, upon waking up, we must activate our body, help it wake up. How to do this? It is essential to drink 1, preferably 2 glasses of warm water, not cold, around 40 degrees, to gently awaken our stomach and intestines. Cold water is a stress for the body, which expends energy to warm it up, and we don't need that at all. So, we drank morning water on an empty stomach. Then throughout the morning until lunch, we continued to drink. Not in 1 gulp or 3 liters at once, but little by little. Every half hour or hour, we took a few good sips. Place a beautiful glass or bottle of water next to you in the kitchen or wherever you spend time, and just drink. Our task is to complete the main work of cleansing the body by 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. What happens at that moment? The kidneys receive water, filter it, and eliminate all the accumulated substances from the night, which is why we naturally go to the bathroom. However, we do this during the day when it does not interfere with our activities. At the moment of wakefulness, when we are active, such a process is completely normal. You will soon notice that your urine becomes light, almost transparent by lunch. This means you are on the right track. Your body is cleansed. After lunch, we gradually reduce fluid intake. We no longer drink as actively. If the desire arises, you can take 1 or 2 sips, but overall we transition to a maintenance mode rather than saturation. Now we have reached an important moment of this stage, the cutoff time. You should set a strict rule for yourself. If you go to bed at 11 in the evening, your cutoff time is 8 or 9 in the evening. That is, 2, ideally 3 hours before sleep, we stop drinking. No beverages, neither sleep tea, nor kefir, nor even plain water. In the evening, the house must be ready for the night. But what to do if you are tormented by thirst in the evening? If your mouth is dry? This is quite a common problem, especially at the beginning, while the body is not yet adapted. An experienced doctor had an answer. If you really want to drink, do not take large sips. You can simply take some room temperature water in your mouth, swish it around, and spit it out. This will trick the receptors, and thirst will go away. If you still can't fall asleep, 1 or 2 small sips are allowed. Not a glass, but just a sip to moisten the throat. This is the first step, the foundation of everything. If you follow this rule for at least a week, your nighttime trips to the bathroom will be halved or even reduced by a third. The body quickly adapts to the new routine, but that's only half the battle. We reviewed the fundamental part, and now we need that clever evening ritual that will definitely help us detox before sleep. We approach the main aspect, the very evening ritual that, combined with the right drinking regimen, ensures an impressive effect. You can strictly follow the golden hours of hydration, but if you miss this step, the result will be incomplete. This ritual consists of 3 simple, yet extremely important actions. The first is a strict evening taboo. We have already agreed that 2 to 3 hours before sleep, we stop drinking. But it is important to clarify. We stop drinking absolutely everything, and here lies the catch. What about my herbal tea for sleep? Chamomile or mint? Unfortunately, even the most harmless herbal tea is still a liquid, and many herbs, like mint or lemon balm, have a mild diuretic effect. We drink them to calm down, but in the end, it can lead to the opposite result at night. So no teas, kefir, baked milk, or milk at night. This is a common mistake. We think it's food. But for the kidneys, this is indeed a significant volume of liquid, especially when it comes to protein, which requires processing, and that in turn needs water. Alcohol, I suppose, is not even worth discussing. It is a poison for our sleep and a powerful diuretic. And of course, one cannot forget about dinner. It should be light and, most importantly, not salty. No salted fish, pickled cucumbers, or sauerkraut before bed. Salt is our main enemy. It retains water, and when you lie down to sleep, this water begins to enter the kidneys. So, the first action of the ritual, 3 hours before sleep, a strict dry law and a light, unsalted dinner. Now the second act of the ritual is what we do. If thirst still torments, as we mentioned, one can simply rinse the mouth and spit it out. But if you need to take a pill prescribed by a doctor at night, what should you do in this case? In that case, we use water, but not a whole glass. We take just a small sip of warm water, not cold so as not to wake the stomach, and not hot. Just wet the throat and swallow the medicine. That's it. Our interaction with liquids in the evening is over. Now the third, most important, and cunning action. This is what the old doctor called the technique of double emptying. This is your key to a peaceful sleep. What is its essence? Note: often, especially with age or if men have minor prostate issues and women experience slight muscle weakness, we do not completely empty the bladder after using the toilet. It seems to us that everything is done, but at the bottom, there remains a little, say from 30 to 50, or even 100 milliliters of residual urine. This is a small portion, but it can cause the bubble to fill to a critical level and signal awakening in 2 or 3 hours of sleep. Our task is to get rid of this remainder. What to do? This is the last ritual before going to bed. You have already brushed your teeth, put on your pajamas, and turned off the light. Now you go to the bathroom one last time. You sit on the toilet. Yes, men are also advised to sit in this case, as the pelvic muscles relax much better than in a standing position. Sit down and completely empty your bladder. Don't rush. Take a deep breath. Now the main secret. As soon as you feel the process is complete, don't get up. Stay seated. Relax. Count slowly to 30 or just take 10 to 15 deep breaths. You can lean slightly forward to change the pressure in your abdomen. Just stay still and relax. After a minute, try to push again slowly and without extra tension, and you will be surprised to find that another portion of that residual urine will come out. Here it is. This very portion has been waking you up every night. After this final release, your bladder will reach absolute zero. Now your kidneys won't be overloaded, and your bladder won't have a starting volume. To achieve the desired effect, he will need significantly more time, from 6 to 8 hours, to reach a state where he can wake you up. That's the whole secret. 3 simple steps: a dry evening, 1 sip in an emergency, and a double emptying before your head touches the pillow. My dear ones, I have shared with you a very effective and safe method based on proper physiology and sleep hygiene. These tips have helped many, but I urge you to take the following information very seriously. I must warn you. What we talked about today is great support for so-called age-related or behavioral nocturia, when nighttime trips to the bathroom are caused by our own habits. However, if you suddenly start getting up at night to use the toilet regularly, experience pain, burning, or discomfort, notice changes in the color or smell of urine, or if the situation does not improve despite following all these recommendations for 1 to 2 weeks, please do not attribute it simply to age. This may be a signal of more serious problems. It could be related to blood sugar levels, cardiovascular issues, kidney problems, or in men, serious prostate ailments. Therefore, please do not self-medicate in such cases. Take the time to consult your local doctor or urologist. Share your symptoms with them. It's nothing to be ashamed of. It's about caring for your own health. Our advice can help, but the doctor is the law. Take care of yourself. So, my dear ones, now you have this simple yet wise prescription from an old doctor. He does not require any expenses from you, only a little discipline. Let's repeat the 3 main rules again. First, drink water actively in the first half of the day. Second, have a dry evening with a light dinner without salt 2 to 3 hours before sleep. And third, be sure to use the double emptying technique before going to bed. I strongly urge you to try to follow these rules for at least 1 week. And be sure to come back here in the comments and write how your sleep has changed. Your feedback is very important to me, and your positive experience can inspire others. Share this information with loved ones whom you also wish to have a good sleep. And of course, if you are here for the first time and found these tips helpful, subscribe so you don't miss new releases. Ahead of us lie many secrets for health and longevity. I wish you a strong and peaceful sleep until morning. Stay healthy.